Hello friends on the internet, welcome to participate in the 40th anniversary forum of acquittal of the Tai Ji Men. I'm today's host, Fanny. The Tai Ji Men case is claimed to be 228 on the legal text. And oh my god, even the technologists think it's super unscientific. If a look can be used as evidence, making Taiwan's text become a joke in the world. Tai Ji Men is an association of Qigong and martial art. Why do we suffer political persecution when promoting Chinese culture? Next, let us know more about these four cases together.
Let's listen to Fu Chang Tai, a Tai Ji Men dizi, lawyer, and representative of Tai Ji Men's tax case.
The Tai Ji Men tax case is made out of thin air. Since its establishment in 1966, Tai Ji Men has never paid any taxes, and there has never been any issues with tax authority. The 6 tax bills against Tai Ji Men are the result of Prosecutor Ho's unlawful prosecution. Tax authority issued tax bills based upon the bill of indictment by Prosecutor Ho without doing investigations. However, the Supreme Court and the Supreme Administrative Court have all ruled in favor of Tai Ji Men and confirmed that Tai Ji Men is not a crime school. In 2011, an interdepartmental meeting in Executive Yan asked Ministry of Finance and tax bureaus to confirm the nature of red envelopes through surveys. All the survey respondents confirmed that the money in red envelope is voluntary gifting. Therefore, both the court ruling and survey result point to the same truth, which is red envelope is gifting based upon the relationship of a shifu and dizi. There has never been any tuition payment, so there should be no taxes. The tax bill for 1992 is unlawful and erroneous. Tax authority has corrected 5 tax bills to 0, only leaving the one for 1992. Since the nature of the money stays the same across the years, year 1992 should have the same treatment as other years. The tax bill for 1992 should be withdrawn as well. We understand the Administrative Court has confirmed its ruling for 1992, but the ruling is biased and unjust because fact recognition is wrong. Tax authority treats Tai Ji Men as a crime school and taxed accordingly. Since the fact is distorted, so is a wrongful application of law. Therefore, the wrongful court order should not be executed. For example, when you know clearly that a death sentence is wrong, you should not execute the death sentence. Instead, you should try to correct the wrong and return justice. If you kill the person as per the sentence, this would constitute state killing. So when tax agents admit mistakes and criminal court has ordered state compensation, there's no point you can still auction the assets of Tai Ji Men. If you do, this is nothing but state robbery. That's why we argue Tax Bureau should withdraw administrative enforcement according to Article 40 of Tax Collection Act. On the other hand, the Administrative Enforcement Agency should stop the enforcement by itself, as the enforcement of a wrong administrative order is unlawful. The Enforcement Agency has the right to do so.
First of all, we welcome today's sharing of Peter in the fiercely competitive electronic industry. He leads a multinational team in charge of R&D and design. He is a very outstanding young man. Today's asking to talk to us about how he learned from Tai Ji Men and speak for Tai Ji Men.
Hi, I am Peter. I lead a multinational department to design and research software and advanced technologies. I became Tai Ji Men dizi in 1994 when I was a university student. It was a pleasant time to me when I started to practice Qigong in Tai Ji Men. There, Shifu told me how to cultivate my mind and body, and many elder sisters and brothers took care of me as I was their children. Tai Ji Men is my home, and I almost spend most of my time in academy after school. I miss it so much. On December 19, 1996, Prosecutor Hou Kuanren led the armed police officers to search all Tai Ji Men Academy in Taiwan. At the same time, he also brought many media to film the search process in Tai Ji Men. That night, all media headlines reported the news and discriminated Tai Ji Men. It's the darkest night and continue to this day. According to Prosecutor Hou's indictment, Tai Ji Men deeds were defrauded by Dr. Hong. However, all Tai Ji Men deeds did our best to prove we were not defrauded by Dr. Hong. It's ridiculous. In fact, we were the victim of the discrimination by prosecutors' illegal indictment. Prosecutor Hou also transferred this case to National Taxation Bureau, and they issued the tax bill for 1991 to 1996 based on the fabricated income of 3.2 billion Taiwan dollar in few days. It's another ridiculous thing. First of all, NTB issued tax bill based on the indictment. It should be clear that if it is a fraudulent income, it should be forfeited by government instead of issuing the tax bill. Second, it takes time to check and verify the cash flow of such huge amount of 6 years tax bill. How could NTB issue the tax bill in few days? In fact, NTB proposed huge amount of tax bill without any real investigation. It's an illegal tax bill. Third, in 2017, Taiwan Supreme Court found Tai Ji Men innocent of tax evasion and all other charges. If the basis of tax bill issued by NTB was invalidated by the court, the tax bill shall be revoked accordingly. However, NTB regretted the court decision and refused to revoke the wrong tax bill and continued to impose illegal tax based on the indictment. In 2019, NTB corrected tax to zero for 5 of the 6 years, 1991, 1993 to 1996, but the 1992 tax bill remained. On August 21st, 2020, Tai Ji Men's land was auctioned and then confiscated by Taiwan government. How could NTB take a gift from these two shifu have different recognitions in different years? How could administrative enforcement agency ignore our petitions and auction Tai Ji Men's land in a controversial case? I suspect their motivation. In the past 2 decades, Dr. Hong has led us to trade to 101 countries to promote love and peace. We pay all expense ourselves. I am impressed by participation in the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 2012. Taiwan is not a member of the United Nations. Dr. Hong told us love and peace have no national boundaries, and we should persist in doing the right thing. Because our promotion of love and peace is recognized by the international communities, we have the opportunity to participate in this international conference. All Dr. Hong need us to do is to prove Tai Ji Men is a patriotic spiritual organization. The manpower and resource spent over the 25 years have accessed the amount of tax bills. If Tai Ji Men a profit-making company, considering the return on investment, we already settled with bureaucrats. We contribute our life in petition and protecting in the past 25 years. Taiwan government ignored our voice and our rights. I'm really upset that no bureaucrat been punished by their mistakes, but keep getting promoted. Transitional justice is an important procedure to move Taiwan to a true democracy country. Only the leader with conscience and courage could initiate the right procedure to acknowledge and rectify the past mistakes. I call on President Tai, rectify our problem. I believe a full transition of democracy of Taiwan will be achieved when President Tai saw it. Thank you.
National Tax Bureau arbitrarily tax bill causing the land of Tai Ji Men to be auctioned off innocently. I hope the government can solve the problem and rectify the past mistakes. Next, let's welcome experts from Taiwan and US explain to us the tax bills in violation of due processes have been invalid from the very beginning.
The tax bills in violation of due process have been invalid from the very beginning. The Tai Ji Men tax case originated from the unlawful indictment of prosecutor Quan Ren-ho, who transferred the case to the National Taxation Bureau (NTB) for taxation. The NTB knew that in the indictment of the prosecutor claimed the money in question was proceeds of fraud, but he also claimed the same money as tuition income from a crane school. His claims were clearly contradictory. The NTB issued the tax bills before the criminal court determined the nature of the income. The NTB imposed taxes and heavy penalties simply based on their indictment without fulfilling its duty to investigate the matter. This seriously violated due process of law.
Did the NTB complete its investigation? The criminal case was still ongoing, and the NTB had already sent out the tax bills. That violated due process. The dispositions in violation of due process were unlawful.
I've studied the Tai Ji Men tax case for close to 2 years. I've written an article about the Tai Ji Men tax case. I don't think I've seen more abuse of the right of due process in any situation than I have seen in the Tai Ji Men tax case. It is not due process for the Ministry of Education to determine that Tai Ji Men is not a cram school and for prosecutors and tax authorities to disregard that determination. It is not due process for the NTB to issue tax bills and to continue to issue tax bills based on allegations of an indictment that have been thrown out in 3 separate criminal trials. It is not due process to have the interagency group get together from all of the different departments of Taiwan to finally address the persecution of Tai Ji Men and agree on a process for doing that through a survey and then falsify the results of that survey. That is not due process. And it is not due process for the Taipei High Administrative Court and the Supreme Administrative Court to rule in favor in Tai Ji Men and then do what? Send it back to the same individuals and authority that issued the tax bills in the first place and collected bonuses for those tax bills. It is not due process to be caught on this treadmill of remand by the administrative courts back to the Ministry of Finance and back again, and this never-ending treadmill where individuals at the ministry or any other tax officials can reissue the same bills time and time again and causing taxpayers time, money, and concern for decades. I think that a 20-year ordeal is a violation of human rights. Justice delayed is justice denied. And to delay justice for 20 years and to still not have it, as we're sitting here today, is, in my mind, a denial of justice. And the thing that perplexes and and even disturbs me is the fact that that justice has been denied and delayed by just a few individuals. It is appalling to me that those few individuals could hijack an entire government.
On July 13, 2007, the Criminal Division of the Supreme Court found Dr. Hong and his co-defendants not guilty of fraud, tax evasion, or violation of the Tax Collection Act. The Supreme Court also determined that the red envelopes to Dr. Hong were gifts from dizi and were tax-free income under Article 4, subparagraph 17 of the Income Tax Act. The group procurement of uniforms and other items through mutual assistance among the dizi was not for profit sale and hence not a taxable event.
When deciding the first trial of the Tai Ji Men case, I emphasized respect of human dignity, freedom of religion or belief, and freedom of thought. I think these values should be honored in tax law as well. The first, second, and third trials all rule the nature of the money in question as gifts. Then it should not be a tax as tuition for a cram school.
Because he thinks this is a respect for the master. It is a kind of gift. After the third instance of our court, we discussed in detail where the indictment is unacceptable. If the tax authority uses this indictment as the basis for taxation, I think it is questionable.
According to the decision issued by the Criminal Court of the Judicial System, the nature of the red envelopes given to the shifu was determined to be gifts rather than income. Therefore, there is no income tax issue. The administrative agency has no reason to not evolve the facts determined in a criminal decision.
You can go to the Control Yuan's website and see that I have listed 7 corrections with respect to the NTB's handling of the Tai Ji Men case. For each, the Tax Bureau's response was, "Oh, we made a mistake. I told the finance minister in 2011, I believe this case should be closed."
The Tai Ji Men case of injustice was instigated by the prosecutor's office to divert the public's attention from 2 unsolved political murder cases. In the Tai Ji Men case, the charges of fraud and tax evasion were contradictory to each other. The defendants were found not guilty of fraud, tax evasion, or violation of the Tax Collection Act by the Supreme Court, and the state compensation for unjust detention was awarded. In 2007, the third instance court decision concluded that the red envelopes given by the dizi to Dr. Hong were gifts and thus tax-free under Article 4, subparagraph 17 of the Income Tax Act. It was all clearly stated, but the NTB taxed Tai Ji Men as a cram school and imposed taxes on the tax-free income. The NTB clearly violated the tax law. According to our tax law, gift tax is paid by the person given the gift, not by the recipient. The subject and object of taxation and the applicable law were all wrong. The original judgment on a criminal case must be annulled when it involves these kinds of errors. The administrative sanctions must be revoked, as they should not have existed.
The NTB taxed the tax-free gifts as Dr. Hong's income. The NTB also levied sales tax on Dr. and Mrs. Hong for the group procurement among the dizi, which was not for profit sale and had nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Hong. The NTB has imposed taxes on the wrong party and on non-taxable events. Its tax dispositions involve an error of fact and an error of law. Therefore, the tax bills have been invalid from the very beginning.
The staff of NTB and the technological talents are hard to believe that there is a human rights persecution in Taiwan. It is as big as Tai Ji Men. suffer such great human rights persecution if ordinary people encounters tax problems. I think they can only pay the unreasonable tax bill or even declare bankruptcy. The tax system issue currently where the government needs to reform. If there's a good tax system, the people will not arbitrarily tax. Foreign manufacturers will be willing to enter Taiwan. Talents will not pull out. I hope that Taiwan will be able to uphold justice, have a complete tax law system, and the people will enjoy peace and happiness and enter a truly democratic country. It is the end of the webinar. Thanks for your participation. Please keep following us. See you next time.